Now at the age of 19, Sylvia has spent the past 3 years thinking and writing about the events that put her behind bars.
213, that's the area where I grew up, where I did all my stuff, the neighborhood where I was growing up in. When I was like in the 6th grade, I was ditching with gangster guys, and then I started dressing like that. And I started getting my tattoos, leaving home. When I was like 14, I was like into it all, really into it. My tattoos, the guys, my clothes, my money. At the age of 15, I started being into the drugs and the guys. The fun in the game was who's gonna be with who today. My best friend, oh, you don't want your boyfriend no more? Nah, I want his brother. And that was we'll go as like a little game. All right, I'll be with them. Yeah, and then I'm gonna like back off then because I want the brother.
But by age 15, Sylvia had found a guy she wanted to keep. He was 20.
I would do everything he tells me to do. He wanted money, I'll be like, all right, I'll go get you your money. He's all like, how you gonna get it? You ain't even, you don't even work. I'll get it for you. And, I'll use one of my homegirls, one of the little ones, and I'll be like, hey, I need this money, this and that, and they'll get it for me. Then I'll give it to him. My boyfriend, I guess I was like so in love with him that anything he said, I did. He'll say, Sylvia, you could only talk to me on the phone. If anyone else calls, you better hang up. And he wasn't even around, and I'll do it. And I guess I was just like, I had a fear that he would leave me. And I knew all my friends wanted him. And, they always say how cute he was, and I was glad I had him. I was like, I'm not going to let go of him. And then he'll say, no, you can't go out with your friends. And even my friends stopped talking to me because I was listening to him too much. And then it's just like, it wasn't fun no more. Seeing how his homeboys will get drunk, and he'll get real drunk, and then he'll say, oh, so go home. And I'll be like, oh, okay, I'll go home. And I'll walk by myself in the 1 o'clock in the morning to my house. And I was like, damn, why am I allowing this thing? And then I'll go back, and he was with the girl. That's why he sent me home. And then he'll come in, and then I'll be like, all right, I'm going out too. And then he'll hit me, and then he'll say he was sorry and that he didn't do it. He'll say, I didn't do it. And then I'm like, yeah, whatever. I had blood in my mouth, and it's like stuff like that.
The crime that put Sylvia Sanchez in prison occurred just after her 16th birthday. She went to the beach, drinking with her boyfriend and 5 other friends. A bizarre plan was hatched to steal the car stereo of their friend who drove them to the beach. Then the plan went wrong.
My boyfriend took him down over there by the water. They started fighting, and he stabbed him 17 times. And he killed him and left him there. When he left him there, he still wasn't dead. Because I turned back when my boyfriend told me to run. I turned back, and then I seen him. The man was trying to walk. And I seen him when he fell. And we took off in his car. We parked the car close by my house. And he sent me home, and he told me I better not say nothing, or else he was going to kill my little brother. So I didn't. I never said nothing about it. Not even my parents. 3 months later, I get arrested, and they're accusing me of that. I was so mad, and he wouldn't speak up and say he did it. And I wasn't going to speak out because, you don't want to get that rep of being a rata, so you're not going to rat. So I didn't say nothing, and even though the cops and the detectives they were telling me, you're going to go down for this, you're going to get life without parole if you don't say who it was, I still wasn't going to say nothing. I thought, I'm young, they can't do this to me. I'm only 16, and things started going wrong, and we started going to court. He started brainwashing me, giving me letters every day in court. Sneaking in letters, giving them to me, and I'll be like, oh, he loves me. Even though I knew, he was lying. In a way, I knew he was lying, but I didn't want to believe it. And then things just got worse and worse, and he would just try to make it up with a card and telling me, look, Sylvia did this for you, and I'm all like, yeah, whatever. They came when we got found guilty, And when we got found guilty, his letter stopped. And my last letter, I remember what I wrote. I remember telling him, did you ever love me? Do you love me? Did you ever care for me? And like stuff like that. And I go, if you did, please answer my letter. And he never answered it.
Okay, ladies, moving in the unit.
Sylvia has served the first part of her sentence in juvenile hall. She hopes to get her tattoos removed before she is transferred to an adult women's prison.
I'm getting removed all my visible tattoos, my face, my neck, my arms, my back, and I'm removing one in my chest, my ex-boyfriend's name, the one I'm in here for. It hurts a lot because they're burning your skin. So that laser treatment, they said it don't hurt, but it does. It smells. It's painful.
Now, sometimes we have to have the patient come back 7 or 8 times to get all of the tattoos out.
The main thing that was going through my mind was that I'm leaving my past behind and starting a new life, but in a way it's painful to let go of my old self, but it's something I must do in order to improve myself.
At the Los Angeles Juvenile Hall, Sylvia is now taking a class in creative writing, led by writer Karen Hunt.
Think about what that thing was that you saw in your mind that was keeping you from going into that little cottage, that place that you really want to be, and write about that. You see it in the writing. There's a great amount of conflict between being tough and being a girl. Well, if you're a girl, you can't be tough, but you have to be tough in order to survive, and they're very confused about those two, clashing against one another. So they work through a lot of that in the writing. If you look at Sylvia, you see a chola, loca chola. You see a girl with tattoos all over her body. Your first impression of her is someone that if I had seen her on the street, she would have made me nervous. I'd walk to the other side of the street. I wouldn't want to confront her. But there's somebody else beneath that, which she was afraid to let out, because to be this kind of a girl, to live in the environment that she lives in, you have to be tough. That's how you survive. When I first met Sylvia, she was very withdrawn, very surly, very defiant, scared. She kept very much on her own. And in the beginning, she couldn't write. She didn't believe that she had anything important to say. She didn't believe she had value. But over time, as she began to open up and start to evaluate herself, she realized that she could start thinking deeply about issues. And that's when she really began to change.
But as it was about to bite me, it turned to a man I seen before. He slapped me, I cried, I recognized.
Her lawyer said, I can't get through to her. She shows no remorse, she won't open up to me. And when I gave her attorney Sylvia's writing, she said, I never knew this about this girl. Now I see her in a completely different light.
Man, as I was about to call out his name, he disappeared along with the bad feeling inside of me.
Sylvia's newfound ability to communicate came too late to help in her legal defense. She and her 5 friends were all convicted of first-degree murder. Since her sentencing, Sylvia has earned her high school diploma and now awaits her transfer to a women's prison.
I'm nervous, but I'll make it. I'm a strong woman. I'm not a weak little girl. This little girl grew up to be a strong-minded woman. It's hard. Life is hard outside these walls and inside these walls. People have always put me down, made me walk with the face hanging low, called me names, made me cry, made my childhood a nightmare, and even took my life away. But now I walk straight up, my head up in the sky, because even though I'm in my bad situation, I make the best of it by getting my education and getting all A's, and most of all because I still carry a big smile on my face, because finally I found the masterpiece inside of me.
Sylvia had served 3 years of her 25 years to life sentence. Wendy's car was impounded because she was driving it without legal registration. It's now difficult for her to get to work. and it's a 2-hour bus ride to visit her son.